Hey everyone, welcome to Shigoto Japan. My name is Ren, and I am going to be reviewing different job ads here in Japan. Not just in Tokyo, but most of them probably will be Tokyo since that's where most of the jobs are located. So if you're interested in working in Japan one day, maybe changing jobs within Japan, or if you're just curious what it's like to work in Japan, this channel is for you. So feel free to comment down below if you have any questions. I'll try to answer them as best I can, but just to let you know, I am not a lawyer. I do not do any kind of visa processing services at all. I am just here working and going throughout my day. So I'm not a professional in that regard, but I would say I might be a bit of a professional when it comes to looking at job ads. So maybe I can help you out with finding ones that are good, maybe for what you're looking for in a job, maybe some that are kind of shady and maybe we should stay away from. So I kind of want to go through those types of jobs. So here's the flow that I like to follow. First, I'm going to show the job ads. We can review them together. You can see here that I'm going to create this kind of scoreboard. We can see that 1 to 3 score is kind of like a stay away. You're going to be wearing an insane amount of hats. It's an unrealistic responsibility sheet. Lots of overtime most likely, very low pay for high skills, and maybe some bad reviews are included in any jobs that fit in my 1 to 3 stay away category. From 4 to 6, I would give this more of a rating of be careful. There is no salary amount listed in the job ad. Maybe there are vague descriptions, and I can't find any reviews about this company or this job in general. I would give that a 4 to 6 rating. And 7 to 9 ratings are meh. These are your typical jobs. Maybe starting at 3 million yen here in Japan. Maybe even a hybrid role if we're lucky. The skill sets actually match the job title, which might be rare that we find. And there are some reviews online about the company. Maybe some good ones, maybe some bad ones, but that's what you're going to find here most likely. And if we find a 10, well, I'm going to put everything down and apply for this job if I fit the requirements, because it'll be a rare opportunity. Something like a reputable company name might be listed. It might be fully remote, high paying, flex time, lots of vacation, amazing reviews. So an opportunity like that, we kind of want to just jump on it, right? So here, I'm going to be going through non-English teaching roles in Japan. I want to go through part-time and full-time roles. So feel free to skip ahead if you're not looking for part-time work, or if you're just curious about it, feel free to stick around. But this is where the Pokemon goods purchase specialist job is. And I recently found this and was like, what? This actually exists? Someone is actually paying money to find someone. So let's look at some information about it. For the Pokemon goods purchase specialist position, this is in Nagoya, Aichi, is where I guess the company is located, because this is a freelance position here. And you're not going to be working at this location because, as you can see here, you must currently reside in Japan, have a lot of speaking abilities in different languages, English, Spanish, possibly some Japanese, but it seems like they don't list it here, so that's good. Prefer Spanish-speaking people, but English is okay. All right, well, if you're a Spanish speaker, feel free to apply for this job if it interests you. The pay seems okay. It's based on project, commission-based, and of course, you gotta love Pokemon. Live near a Pokemon Center or post office. I think that living near a post office is easy for most people who live here, but living near a Pokemon Center depends on where you live. So that's why I was mentioning that you probably don't have to live in Nagoya Aichi, because you can just live in another area with a Pokemon Center. Alright, so this is what they're looking for. A responsible, trustworthy students. So this is not just limited to one person in this role. It could be multiple people that they're hiring as a freelancer for purchasing and shipping assistance. So the task is that you will buy official Pokemon Center merchandise and ship it to our warehouse in Yokohama or Los Angeles. And this is a very flexible role. performance-based commission, perfect for Pokemon fans, with access to a Pokemon Center. So if you live somewhere in rural Japan and it's going to take you 2.5 hours to get to a Pokemon Center, then I don't know if this is really worth it for you, unless you're that much of a diehard Pokemon fan that you would travel that far, round trip. But yeah, I think that people who do live in these major cities will probably have a better chance at this kind of role. So anywhere in Japan, I guess you could say this is like a remote job since it's a freelance position, flexible part-time, and shipping destinations Yokohama or Los Angeles. You can communicate remotely via Line, WhatsApp, email. Line is an app here that is used in Japan, and instead of using Messenger on your phone to communicate with anyone, or I guess the message app on the iPhone, iOS, you would just use Line. I know a lot of people who have iPhones in Japan, my friends included, and we do not use Message. We just use Line. So compensation welfare, 10% commission on all standard Pokemon Center purchases, and 15% commission on exclusive or limited items. We specify when applicable, hopefully before you go out and try and get it. Full reimbursement of shipping costs. That's great because shipping internationally is so expensive. It'll probably get more expensive as time goes on. Hey, you can even get a bonus for excellent performance or urgent missions. Payment methods, Wise, PayPal, or bank transfer. These are pretty common standards, I would say. And you can get paid within 48 hours of confirmed shipment and evidence submission. Some future benefits here include prepayment of products may be available for reliable performers. That's really great. If you can kind of prove yourself to this company that you can trust me and have everything prepaid, maybe they'll give you maybe they'll send like a furikomi, like a bank transfer, or even provide like a company card. I don't know. So if you're curious about this and you want to apply, I would ask questions about that. Like, how are you actually going to give me prepayment of products? So responsibility and duties. Purchase requested Pokemon Center merchandise based on provided list. Pay with your own funds initially, but they may also do prepayment options in the future. You would provide clear photos of the receipt, the items purchased, packing process and final package, shipping and tracking numbers, making sure that everything gets safely sent to the warehouse, communicate status, updates, and resolve issues. So if you're a good communicator and you love Pokemon, it's sounding like a really nice deal. But here's where things get a little murky. So you have to live in Japan. You have to be legally allowed to work already. You need to have this visa if you are here on a visa. So if you don't have a visa and you're looking at this from abroad, if you live in the UK or America and you're thinking about trying to find a job in Japan, this unfortunately will not be it, because I don't see anything here about visa sponsorship. They want people who are students, most likely, who already have this visa, who are legally allowed to work. Unfortunately, for those who are thinking about this and live abroad. So if you're a student and you live here and you're allowed to work here, if you have the extra funds to pay for these Pokemon goods and shipments, should be good to go. I think everyone who's looking at this is probably comfortable visiting the Pokemon Center locations if you're into Pokemon. And if you don't speak any Japanese at all and you're interested in this job and you apply, you fit all the requirements, then I would say maybe just brush up on some YouTube Japanese. You could figure out what kind of things to say there, maybe. Capable of using Japan Post Yamato DHL. So the reason they're saying this is because if you cannot speak Japanese, this is going to be a very big challenge for you. Going to the post office or Yamato, if you don't know the flow in advance, I would really recommend looking up YouTube videos that show how to mail things, because depending on where you're shipping, it'll be different compared to if you were to ship to somewhere locally, like their warehouse here in Nagoya. If you were to ship domestically, it's going to be a bit easier and really straightforward versus if you were to ship to the Los Angeles location. Might be more paperwork. It might take a lot more of your time. So be sure to check into that if you're interested. All right, some communication skills, reasonable with money. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure we're all reasonable with money, aren't we? All right, so their preferred personality, Pokemon fan. It would be really strange for someone to do this and they hate Pokemon or don't know what it is, but maybe they can learn to love it. So I hope that they're open to maybe bringing in someone new who's never seen Pokemon, is just interested in this job, and maybe they can start to like Pokemon. Highly reliable, good at following instructions step by step. Okay, proactive communicator, interested in a long-term freelance collaboration. Check out their Instagram and YouTube. Okay, so this job here seems all right. I don't see any major issues with it. I feel that looking at this, the only issue would be the visa situation here, but they're very much upfront about it. You don't have to worry about commuting to the office. But if that's a deal breaker for you, like if you want to meet them, well, this job might not be for you, or maybe you can start this job and try to get a good reputation in with them, and then you can maybe join them full time. So if you're interested in this position, the company's name on here says Kids Stop, which is strange to me because, all right, I'm going to visit the website. I find it strange that it's Kids Stop. It doesn't sound like it would be. Oh, okay, I take it back. Yeah. This looks like it could be the company. Okay, got it. All right, so yeah, look at what they're selling here and seeing the prices here as well. You can kind of get a feel of the things you would be buying for them. Seems legit. I would definitely look into this myself, but I think I'm okay. I'm a little busy enough with my full-time job. So check out the company Kidstop if you're interested in joining them as a contractor, a freelancer. Seems like a pretty sweet deal. I would rate this an 8 for a part-time freelance position. I think it's not bad. I think the only downside is the visa restriction issue, and that's about it. I mean, the pay seems fair enough. I don't think that this is a hard job, especially for those who already go to the Pokemon Center already. I don't see anything wrong with that. So if you're looking for a part-time position, freelance, maybe check out this company. Seems like a good deal. All right, let's check out this Japanese and English bilingual communication staff. Visa support is available for this company, which is really great. The only downside is that this is not in Tokyo, it is in Aichi, Japan. So for those who are wanting to work in Tokyo, maybe this won't work out for you, but unfortunately, even more, you have to already reside in Japan. So this is not for anybody who lives abroad right now and is looking for a job. Unfortunately, they are looking for someone who's already here, who has a visa of some sort, which is why they say visa sponsorship is available. I know this can be a little tricky because it looks like, oh, if I apply from abroad, they'll sponsor my visa. Don't think that's the case here. I think they want somebody who lives here already. And let's say you have a student visa and you're looking for a full-time job, then they would sponsor that person's visa who already has one. They just need to change it. So I wish here they would write visa change, sponsorship available, or something like that, because it sounds a little vague. So let's look at this. This is Wing Auto, and they're a cars and car parts importer based in Nagoya, Aichi. They're looking for people who are multilingual, who are interested in dealing with overseas transactions. And it seems like you'll be working with people in the US, UK, and Germany, as they have their partners there. The contents of the work is mainly focused on business correspondence by email, telephone, receptions for visitors from overseas. And so you need English skills as a native, Japanese skills as daily conversation. It would be very challenging for you to work with us in the global environment. If there are any parts you are unsure about work, we will teach you gently and thoroughly. Okay, they seem like they're open to helping you learn. If this seems like, oh, I don't know if I can do this kind of job, I kind of qualify for it, I would say go for it if you're interested in this and you want to go and check out what living in Aichi is like. They seem really kind, like they're willing to teach you gently and thoroughly, so that's cool. Let's look at the main responsibilities. Import services, so import procedures from the US, Germany, and the UK, liaison with suppliers, export operations, sales, logistics arrangements, negotiation and support with overseas customers, and the site management. Wow, online store management, updating, product information registration and management, customer service, sales data analysis. Wow, okay, so this is not just this kind of customer relation bilingual staff position. Okay, I guess you will have a lot of hats here. It's not just about working with corresponding by email and telephone or visiting, meeting the people who are visiting from overseas. It seems like there's a little bit more EC site management, product information registration and management. I wonder if there's some project management also involved in here as well. But hey, possibility of promotion. Little bit of knowledge of motor vehicles is a bonus point? I see. So if you know just a little bit about cars in general, that would be great for them. But I don't think you need to be a pro. Even if you don't own a car, I think it's still okay if you like brush up on some YouTube videos and check out kind of like these similar positions. I would look up something like communication, staff, motor vehicle position, day in the life, something like that, or what is it like to work at an import service company, something like that. All right, this is interesting, the visa support, but they're looking for someone who already lives here. Again, bunch of fun activities, so I don't know what that means. Maybe they have like nomikai, for example. They'll go out for drinks after work, which is usually voluntary, but sometimes you feel pressured to go, and that's a whole other topic that I can talk about next time. But so maybe something like overnight trip at an onsen ryokan. I've seen some team fun activities like that at work before. Going out for a barbecue on the weekend. Maybe that's what this could mean. Salary! All right. I know for some of you looking at this, you're like, I would never do this. This is really crazy. It is quite low for the amount of work they're looking for, but this is like an entry position, and it looks like they would train you for a lot of this. You don't have to come in with too much knowledge. They're just looking for someone who can speak and communicate a little bit. English skills, some Japanese skills, multilingual staff. So if you can do that and kind of have an interest in cars a little bit, and you can communicate with people and keep things organized, it feels like this could be all right. Negotiable working hours, I'd be curious about that. Maybe those who have families, maybe they can have some flex time in here to take kids to daycare or pick them up. Seems like they might be open to that. But I know this may seem low, but you'll be learning a lot from just looking at this. If this is what you're interested in, cars and car parts, import companies, for those who don't have experience in this, or for those who don't have much work experience in general, I would say go for it anyway, because you have to start somewhere, right? We have to be a little realistic. Yes, we would like to see 400,000 or 500,000 listed here, but that would be a totally different job ad, to be honest, for here in Japan. I want to be realistic with you. This seems quite normal. It seems like they're going to train you. I would go for it if I were looking at this and interested in living in Nagoya, Aichi. So here's the Japanese version, if there's any kind of misunderstandings, but I think for the most part, it looks pretty much the same. できるだけ長く働ける方. Okay, so maybe you look in this a little bit more if you want to know more information. But alright, this is basically this position here. Feel free to check out Wing Auto's website if you are interested. I will link it down below. And yeah, good luck for those who apply. I would rate this, to be honest, 7? This is a typical job, and it seems like they might be flexible, negotiable with the hours. There might be a little bit of multitasking, wearing multiple hats, but I think the multiple hats are like about 3. I don't think they're being vague. I don't think that they're being unfair with the salary, although I would like to see it at like 250,000 yen per month. But if you have additional skills that you could bring, maybe you can try to negotiate a little bit higher. But like I said before, you got to start somewhere. Okay, and finally, let's look at an actual job in Tokyo, here in Shinagawa, Tokyo. And this is in the food and beverage industry. Pay is all right. Again, we're in Tokyo now, and this is a non-manager position, but we are in Tokyo, so the price, the salary does go up a little bit more compared to like the Aichi position. So 250,000 is where they're starting in that range, up to 300,000, which is nice, and it is negotiable depending on your skills. So let's look at this. So they are looking for someone who has conversational English, Japanese conversational skills. Again, so sorry for those who are looking at this who live abroad and want to work here. For now, I have this job position where it says you must currently reside in Japan, have already a work visa. So if you don't have a visa, if you're here in Japan right now and you're on a visitor's visa, they will not sponsor this visa. You have to have the work one already. And this is quite limiting. You have to have a driver's license from Japan as well, and the ability to lift boxes, and PC skills, customer service, communication. So why are they looking for this? Well, this is for a driver, a storeman, food services operations. That's why they need the license, and someone who can lift about 25 kilograms. The company is Harnett Japan. They are located in Minami-Azabu, Minato-ku, Tokyo, and the work location is going to be based in Shinagawa. So what we'll be doing here is importing and sales of livestock products, agricultural products, processed foods, including Australian beef, lamb, cheese, American bacon, and pickles. Sounds good. Not if you're vegan or vegetarian, I know, but this is what the job is requiring. Seems like they've been here for a while, 20 million yen capital, a small little company, and they are a foreign-owned specialty meat trading company. That's cool. With a friendly team, strong focus on work-life balance. What does that mean? Do they allow flexible time? I guess they'll explain later. The team ranges from people in their 20s to their 60s. Wow, that is a wide gap, but that's cool. So what do we need here? They're looking for someone who can be proactive. So they're looking for someone who doesn't have to be told what to do. If you've finished your work, then you can kind of figure out what you need to do next. You don't have to just stand around there and wonder, oh, I don't know what to do next, so I'm just going to take a 5-hour break because I don't know what else to do. Someone who will really help out and see that something needs to be done and they do it themselves. They're looking for someone like that, proactive. A can-do attitude. Like, this may not be my job, but I'm going to help out anyway kind of person. Adaptable. Sometimes things change last minute, and if you don't like change, this might not work out for you. Flexible, professional. Initiative, ability to take ownership of a process or task from start to finish. Sometimes when you're given a task, it can sound good at the start, and then you get through it a little bit and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I hate this. I don't want to do it. It's really boring, or it's too hard for you, or something like that. But they're looking for someone who can still have a disciplined mindset and can finish this task from start to finish. Service-oriented mindset, cooperation and teamwork, attention to detail. And they say this because they are a small team of 10 to 20 people. So teamwork is very essential here. All right, so their headquarter office, Hiro, but where this person will be working is most likely the Shinagawa, but maybe you'll be driving from here every now and then. All right, so for the position, they need someone who can be the driver and the storeman for the food services operations, regular route delivery locations. Okay, you'll be delivering a lot. Wow, they're looking for someone to start immediately. So if you apply to this, you might hear from them the same day. But this is also a temporary 3 to 6 month assignment at the start. But after that, okay, I got it. So in Japan, there's typically a probation period. This is common even for full-time positions. And it can range from a 3-month trial period for both you and the employer, or it can even go up to 6 months. I've heard of some people having a 1-year probation. I don't know about that. I mean, if you're going to have a 1-year probation, you should just have a contract position. Anyway, so they want to kind of test you out. Maybe they've been burned in the past, and so that's why they're having this temporary 3 to 6 month assignment. So they might be paying you on a week-to-week basis or a month-to-month basis, something you'll have to talk about there. But eventually it could turn into a full-time position if you are a good person, a good hard worker, and a permanent position, meaning they'll give you like a seishain contract, so you can have really good health insurance, pension plans, and things like that. So job description, manage and undertake a range of daily and monthly tasks to ensure the ongoing smooth and efficient operation of the Harnett Distribution Center, including, yes, this is very important, to have timely delivery for customer orders, processing of associated communication, documentation, and data. All right, and so coordinating inbound and outbound stock movements. So you'll be picking up and delivering daily. Again, picking and packing orders daily, stock control. This is what you'll be doing all day. At least they're letting you know in this job ad. Coordination, so speaking with and communicating with third-party suppliers, couriers, import companies, warehouses. So you'll be talking to a lot of people. This is not just you get a delivery and you go and drop it off and you come back and you pick it. You're not just delivering things. You are probably most likely coordinating and communicating with these restaurants, warehouses, other food services. So if you just want to have headphones on and not talk to anyone, this is not a position for you. So purchasing of general supplies. So you'll be out and getting other types of materials as well. So delivery operations using company vans. You don't need to have your own car. You don't need to cycle or walk around. They will provide the company van for you. And seems like you'll be in central Tokyo and surrounding areas too, mainly to restaurants, hotels, and retail stores. Oh, interesting here is that it's the pickups of product from the Haneda Airport, which is in Tokyo, and or related third-party locations, cold store facilities and warehouses, lots of warehouse work, issuing delivery notices, invoices, confirming information for processing. So in doing all this, it seems like you need to know some basic computer skills, which I think a lot of us probably have if we're watching this on YouTube currently. All right, general logistics support and help with operations at the distribution center, customer interactions, other tasks as assigned. So if you have experience handling or processing meat items or a butcher license, this will be well regarded and provide additional work interest and opportunity to expand tasks. So I guess if you're licensed and skilled in this, then they'll give you more tasks. And hopefully that means an increase in pay. So if this matches you, then I would recommend you push for not the $250,000, but I would recommend you push for this. You negotiate more higher to the $300,000 a month, because not everybody has a butcher's license. So I would hate for you to just be like, okay, cool, $250,000, I have the butcher license. No, it needs to be much higher. They will pay you because they are really looking for someone who has these skills. Okay, so now let's look at this note. The role involves handling heavy items, frequent loading and unloading of the delivery vans. So you gotta have some kind of muscle on you a little bit, or if you want muscle, this will be a good place to start. So physical strength is required. Most boxes are less than 20 kilograms, but sometimes they could be up to 25 kilograms. Makes sense, meat is heavy. And this is driving around Tokyo on a daily basis. Qualifications. Valid work visa for Japan. So those who are watching from abroad, unfortunately, so sorry, they do not sponsor visas. They only sponsor for renewing visas. Valid regular Japan's driver's license. That's good, you don't need a truck license as you'll be using their company van. And if you have experience driving on Tokyo city roads or highways, that's really good. It can be really congested here in the city. Language. So I really would recommend someone who knows some daily conversational Japanese to think about this position if they're interested. But if you know no Japanese at all, it's going to be really hard for you because you have to communicate with all the vendors, the third-party suppliers, the couriers, import companies. All of them most likely speak Japanese. So it would be a really big challenge if you know zero Japanese, which is why they say like intermediate Japanese are required. Reading delivery instructions. So being able to look at a long list of instructions, follow it step by step will be really good. If reading is something that bores you, don't know if this is going to work out. So English is not required. That's why they really want someone who can speak some Japanese. But it is a plus for working with an international team. Oh, and the company president is Australian. So if you know both, it's really good. Basic PC skills, Word, Excel, simple data entry, no age or education restrictions. That might be because their team is actually a pretty wide range of ages, so from 20-year-olds to 60-year-olds, and you will be provided a phone and PC for work purposes, which is really good. You don't have to use your own personal stuff. Okay, again, if you have that butcher's license, push for the 300,000. But if you don't, push for it anyway. Yeah, let's not try and undersell ourselves. If you have Japanese speaking skills, if you have N2 or N1, if you have really high speaking, push for the 300,000. If you have N5, push for the 300,000 anyway. I mean, what's the worst they can say? No, we'll only give you 270. Like, that's fine. All right, so full commuting allowance is paid. Great, that's awesome. Overtime paid separately. It is not envisioned that there will be much. So I hope there's not a lot of overtime. Overtime is no fun. We still got to live our lives. Great. Weekend work is not required. There might be bonuses. Cool. And they'll review your salary. So yes, they are confirming again that you're starting as a contractor. And it might change to a permanent full-time role, which is good that they're telling you twice, making sure you know this is not just a full-time role right off the bat. Working hours, Monday to Friday, 9 to 6. Maybe 10 to 15 hours of overtime? Even though they said it's not envisioned that there will be much overtime. I guess this is just in the contract, just in case. Negotiable though. 2 days off per week, Sunday and one other Saturday. Okay. National holidays, summer vacation. The reason it says summer vacation is in Japan there is Obon. So once a year, around like 3 days, some people take a whole week off for Obon to return to their families, their hometowns, and help prepare things for sending off those who have passed away. Or if someone had passed away a long time ago, they'll clean up their graves, and it's a time for families to get together and even, I guess, still mourn those who have passed. So it's a very important holiday. Not holiday, it's an informal time off period. Holiday sounds kind of like we're celebrating this happy occasion. I don't know, depending on who you speak with, it is like a happy occasion, I guess. But anyway, that's what summer vacation usually entails. So I don't think it's like school summer vacation where you get 1 month off. I do believe it'll probably be like the Obon holiday, but you'll have to confirm with them. Paid leave. Okay, cool. Social insurance. Yes, so as you're a contractor for the 3 to 6 months, you do not have this. Which is why I was saying if you can get this full-time position, it's really great because you will have all this provided as well. Really great deal. Retirement system. So if you're closer to the age of retirement, something to look forward to here. Location of work. Base plus daily field deliveries using company delivery van. All right, and this is where you'll be working most likely in the Shinagawa area. 4 to 5 minute walk from the station, not bad. So this is what their selection process looks like. They'll check your resume. Photo attached is required. I know some of you are like, what? That's discrimination. How can they do this? Here in Japan, it is quite common. It's a very traditional style here where having a photo attached is very important. Why is it important though? Why do they need to know what you look like? Eventually, they're going to need to know what you look like, right? I know there can be discrimination based off of someone's photo and their impression of you on the photo. But if you want to make a good impression, you have to follow what they want, the selection process. If they want a photo, try to give them a photo. If you give them a photo, make sure it's a good photo. I don't mean make sure you're smiling. I mean, make sure you look cleaned up. Your hair is not a mess. You're not wearing sunglasses. You know, if you can, put on a button shirt. Although this job seems like they don't have that strict of a dress code, it's still good to look like you're wearing some kind of business attire. For women, a nice blouse. You don't need to wear a tank top in the photo. You know what I mean? Like, some of you might be offended, but it's just how things are here. And if you want to work here, you kind of got to go with the flow for these kinds of things. And believe me, it was really hard for me to accept this. It took me years and years and years to finally give in. And when I did, things got easier for me. But anyway, that's a whole other video I could talk about there. So try to attach a photo if that's what they're looking for. They're saying it's required. You will not be looked at all if you don't attach it, most likely. 1 in-person interview. That's not bad. I mean, most jobs look for like 3 to 4 interviews, so this is really great. 1 in-person interview. No written test. Great. They might screen you for other things if they want to. All right. So again, they'll give the PC and the iPhone provided foreigners who can speak conversational Japanese. Great. So they're not looking for someone who can speak at an N1 medical terms level, lawyer speaking level. They're looking at someone who can do some conversational Japanese. You know, they're not looking for maybe even N2, to be honest. Maybe N4, maybe N5, but N4, N3 is what they're looking for most likely, because conversational kind of falls into that N3 range. So you don't need to be speaking like a lot of Kegel, but yeah, it would, if you have N5, not trying to offend you. Just saying it might be a little stressful at times. So if you have N5 and you qualify, go for it. You can always improve your Japanese on the job. So no transfers or relocations. Right, so like I was saying at the beginning, it's a Japan-only work environment. So they're not going to transfer you anywhere else. But this could be a way for you to get your foot in the door and then later on apply for a company after working there for however long you want to. Then get your foot in the door for a company that does kind of do these transfers or relocations to overseas. Non-smoking environment. So if you have experience handling or processing meat items, yes, so they're letting you know, again, please apply if you have this butcher's license, and please negotiate on that salary. All right, so that is basically this job. If you are interested in driving around, delivering, and doing some light PC work, feel free to apply at the Harnett Corporation. And yeah, best of luck for those who apply. So if I had to rank this job, I would definitely give it a high score of an 8, because there aren't a lot of insane hats you have to wear. They don't seem unrealistic. There's some overtime, but they said that there might not typically be overtime, and is pretty decent for Tokyo. It's not a remote position, but it's kind of impossible to be if you need to be driving and delivering different things. So I would say go for it. I would give this a solid 8, because also the job can transition into a seishain position, a full-time permanent position, which is really great. So feel free to apply, and good luck to those who do. So those are the 3 jobs from me today. It was really great going through them all with you, and I'm really hoping that we can talk more in the comments. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I cannot process your visas. I cannot do anything to change Japanese laws, but I can be here and rant with you about jobs in Japan. Anyway, thank you so much for checking out my channel. If you're interested, please feel free to subscribe and let me know what kind of jobs you're looking for if you're job hunting currently, because we've all been there. All right, catch you next time.